Yeah, my wonderful people, viewers and subscribers all over the world. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are. Please make on hear this better headline. Oh, this one is coming from so-called. They say his name is Ghanaian Adams. I be whether na Oba, I be waiting him be for your own village. That one na him concern and that one na your own cup of tea. He sent a very strong warning. He said, IPOP Ghanaian Adams warns against it at home protest in Lagos because according to the news or according to the insight I'm having here. Simon Ekpa is nursing the idea of forcing the Igbos in Lagos State to go on a rampage. I mean, what I mean by a rampage, to go on a sit at home, not for them to protest or to go out there to do anything, but he want to force them to sit at home, all in the call for the release of Nnamdi Kanu. So this is a Yoruba prominent man. He don't come out now, come one. The Simon Ekpa say make no triumph for Lagos State. Say Lagos State no be southeast or no be Igbo land. You understand me? So that's all the thing take be, and that is one of the headlines where we are going to anchor our news from this very morning. And another prominent man again, he say his name na Reno Omokiri. He said, and I quote, Nnamdi Kanu will be freed, but he put but Reno Omokiri tells Igbos what to do, and. So, Igbos, I don't hear them. Anyway, we are going to come back to elaborate and expatiate this news to know exactly what to do so that Nnamdi Kanu will be freed, according to the ex-presidential aide to Goodluck Jonathan, Reno Omokiri. I beg you, if you never subscribe to my channel, endeavor to do that as soon as possible. In fact, let us proceed because we don't have time. Time is money, according to Ndegoro Egu. Are Ona Kakanfo of Yoruba land, Ghanaian Adams has warned the factional leader of the regional people of Biafra, IPOP Simon Ekpa, against carrying out a sit-at-home in Lagos. And what are you going to do? You are not going to do anything. Come on, get out. The protest aimed at pressing the federal government for the release of IPOP leader Nnamdi Kanu is currently happening in southeastern part of the Nigeria. Adams stated that IPOB should not attempt to impose its agenda on Lagos or the other parts of the southwest, as the region is not part of the Biafra land. Ekpa, however, hinted via a tweet of a potential plans to stage the protest in Lagos. In his tweet, Ekpa stated Biafrans in Lagos should get ready to be part of the demand to release Nnamdi Kanu. We are coming to Lagos after 2-week-long sit at home. Okay, let me reply this so-called Ghanaian Adams, or whatever it's being called. So you can respond to anything that got to do with Igbos. I thought they said Igbos, they don't hold the economy of the Lagos State, that they don't contribute to it. I thought they said Igbos should go. So what of Igbos? If they decide now, okay, we're doing sit at home now to allow us to go, are you going to stop it? That is the question. So you can respond. I don't even know that somebody like you exists. When almost all the whole APC chieftains profiled the whole Igbos in Lagos State during the time of the election, both the federal and the state level. We didn't hear you. We didn't know you exist to do. MC Olomo profiled the Igbos. They didn't say anything. Igbos were being fired. We are being fought, burned their shops, killed many, and many lost their arms. We don't know you existed. You never come out. Then they have been calling all the Yoruba elders to come out now and they speak concerning that very issue. Nobody ever speak. Even till today, you didn't condemn it. But now you are coming now to say Igbo they should not do sit-at-home protest in Lagos. So Igbo, if they decide to sit at home in Lagos State, they are not disturbing you. They are not going on the street. If they decide to close their shops, the shop belong to them. The money they are making belong to them, not for you. If the Lagos State said Igbos are not among people contributing to the revenue or to the growth of their state, then if they decide to go sit at home, what business of yours it is? Is it not them that are going to lose? Is it not them that are going to lose their money or their businesses or their customers? So now you people know that Igbos are important to Lagos. And your women that they should not carry sit at home in Lagos State simply because Lagos State is not part of the Republic, Biafra Republic. What did they decide to do so? Haven't you heard that Igwe Abi Ezende Ajago Estate Nwajago was arrested simply because he made a comment? But MC Olomo treating the Igbos on a broad daylight in a live video the commissioner of police in Lagos State said we should disregard it and take it as a what do they call it, as a joke. Then when an Igbo man said the same thing, not even the same thing, similar to, not even similar to, so maybe just ordinary inch of what MC Olomo did, because all the whole threat they unleashed on the Igbos during the presidential election was carried out. People lost their arms, people lost their lives, people business were burned. On the 18th of March, the same thing repeats itself, and the government have not even prosecuted this man till today. And now you are here telling us another different bullshit. It is not your fault. It is our own fault. However, Adam strongly advised Ekpa to drop the idea, certain that the Southwest is not part of the Biafra Republic. Any attempt to impose Biafra Republic agenda will be resisted, he warned. Adams retweeted that the Southwest prefers a restructuring of Nigeria into a true federal system, allowing each region to develop at its own pace. He said, our position is true federalism. That is the restructuring of Nigeria into regions for the regions to develop at their own pace. I thought they said, once Tinubu get to office, the best thing he will do before the 100 days in office is to restructure Nigeria. Now everybody have forgotten about that. Too. They have forgotten about the restructuring that they will keep on running. We are going to restructure Nigeria, through federalism, and so on and so forth. Nonsense and the empty promises that they keep making. The same thing that happens in the last 8 years of Buhari, the same thing will also happen in these 8 years of this so-called Tinubu. Despite this, Ekpa has threatened another lockdown, maintaining that the sit-at-home was to demand the immediate and unconditional release of IPOB leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. This move comes after Southeast political leaders decided to discuss the region's security situation with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Let me tell you people the simple truth. The person that is at the helm of this meeting with Tinubu, or gathering the lawmakers and Ohaneze Ndori, now Hope Uzodinjo, make gonna know very well that in the first place, Hope Uzodinjo have never supported IPOB nor supported Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. In fact, he is among those who keep on fighting for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to remain there. So suddenly now, simply because this year he's going to have a re-election into his office now he's want to buy the minds of everybody that he cares for Biafrans or he cares for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. That is why he embarked on this nonsense, that on this eye service they are doing. For the past 2 years, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was held in prison. This is the first time Hope Uzodinma is coming out now to hold a meeting or a conference of the lawmakers of the Southeast and the other governors with the so-called Ohaneze Ndiberibe. Nobody, everybody is clapping for him. Oh, you have done well. And the media houses, everybody, congratulating Hope Uzodinma for organizing the meeting and so on and so forth. But nobody cares to ask, what is the motive behind this? Because November 11 is the day and the date for his re-election. So he wants to buy the minds of the people. Because for him, he have lost the election even before he contested it. If nobody knows it, I myself, Okute, I know the reason why he was running up and down to speak on favor of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Just like Tinubu and Atiku, they use Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to campaign. Now, have Tinubu done anything about uniting the country? Have not done anything. Every Dick and Harry have been calling, release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, he tied his ear. That is what he inherited from the past government. We are watching. We are what? We are watching. Nnamdi Kanu will be freed, but Reno Omokri tells Igbos what to do to get him released from detention. Former presidential aide Reno Omokri has told Igbos what to do if they want to see their embattled son and leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, freed from detention. In a Twitter post on Wednesday today, on a Twitter post on Thursday, Omokri said Kanu will regain his freedom if only the Igbos could play their cards right. The social political activists admonish the Igbo-speaking region to desist from violence and convert IPOB into a political party. According to him, there is more love for the Ndi Igbo than hatred. Omokri stressed that the Igbos could turn the Southeast into a paradise if only they could stop the violent activities allegedly perpetrated by the IPOB across the region. Tweeting, Omokri wrote, "Play your cards right, and Nnamdi Kanu will be freed. Renounce violence as the Irish Republican Army did, and convert IPOB into a political party, the way the IRA became Sinn Féin and democratically seized control of the Southeast, then turn it into a paradise, and other regions will even vote for IPOB party. Senators, governors, and presidents who no like better thing, according to Reno Omokiri. There's more evidence of love for Ndibo than any signs of hatred. Yet, you are allowing people who are shooting, beating, and molesting you as they enforce a sit-at-home order to convince you that other Nigerians who buy from you, employ you, are employed by you, and rent properties to you, hate you. Omokiri cautioned Igbos against listening to Radio Biafra, certain that it is a propaganda vehicle, according to the former aide to Goodluck Jonathan. Atiku meets Vice President Shetima in Abuja. And I don't see him. Shebiora they see him. Peter Obi, where are you? Are you there? They have left you behind. Kwankwaso have joined them. We are waiting for Atiku. Now Atiku have finally joined them. All these forces is against the Labour Party. You people don't know. And I will tell you, be rest assured that very soon this man can decamp from PDP to APC. Just like what they call him, Kwankwanso, Abi Kwankwansa have did. It's going to happen to Atiku as well. So let us read the news and see exactly and why the meeting. The 2020 presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Atiku Abubakar, and Nigeria Vice President Kashim Shettima met in Abuja on Saturday. Nigerians understand that the duo came into each other at a wedding ceremony attended by political associates and notable dignitaries in the country. This is one of the rare meetings between Atiku and Shettima since legal dispute began over the 2020 general elections. The wedding attended by the two political gladiators was between Muhammad Amar Bunu and Ekramuja Jamal Arabi. This news platform understands. Atiku and Shettima, however, set aside political differences as they exchanged pleasantries at the wedding ceremony held at the Kanu Mosque in the nation's capital, where Major General Babagana Mongolo, retired former National Security Advisor, Prof. Ale Isa Pantami, immediate past Minister of Communication and Digital Economy, and other prominent personalities registered their presence. Recall that Atiku, a former vice presidential or president, was defeated by Shettima principal Bola Ahmed Tinubu on the ruling All Poverty Congress APC platform. Atiku, however, is currently challenging the victory of the ruling All Progressive Congress, under which Shettima ran on joint ticket with President Tinubu. You can as well see more photos of the wedding and what is being carried out at that very particular event as well. So let us jump into another news that we have this very morning. Peter Obi expresses hope for a Nigerian where leaders have none classmates and no certificate. Hey, this man, your mouth is there too bad, though. I beg, take him easy. Labour Party presidential candidate for the 2023 election, Peter Obi, has expressed his hope for a Nigeria led by individuals of unquestionable academic credentials and known backgrounds. It means going to school and acquiring all these degrees and certificate is of no use as long as Nigeria is concerned. Once you get your money, you can maneuver your way through. My dear, you can get whatever you want. He voiced disappointment over the country's tendency to celebrate individuals with questionable past rather than those with notable career achievement. If given the chance to lead, Obi pledges to shift this narrative. The former governor of Anambra State spoke in Abuja while delivering a keynote address at the graduation ceremony of Peace Setters Academy. He underscored the necessity of prioritizing education in the country, stating that without education, there cannot be meaningful development. He said, the politician who said his presidential ambition was alive said, in the next Nigeria, you will not be a leader unless you attended a school, unless you know your classmates, unless you have a good certificate where whereby if you bring your certificate, nobody will doubt it or question it. Obi will also while also noting that education was the most important thing that any nation needed. Said, what differentiates development and undeveloped was education. He further stated, for me, education is the most important thing that anybody or any nation needs. What differentiates developed and undeveloped is education. It is foundation. Even when you go out and people tell you about measures of development being hanged on the Human Development Index, and they tell you it is education, health, and per capita income, I will tell you that all of these three, health is about education. If you don't have a well-educated society, you can't have a healthy society, according to Gringo Repeater Obi. Noting also that you can't put people out of poverty without education. The 2023 presidential candidate of the Labour Party said, the more people are educated, the more they put themselves out of poverty, and that is critical. The more you put people out of poverty, the more you reduce humanity, and you can't do that unless you invest in education. The more people are educated, the more they put themselves out of poverty, and that is critical. You can't have 20 million out of school children and think of development tomorrow. We must have to invest in education and other parts. If you follow 2022 world population of countries, the population of Norway, the population of Ireland, and the population of Singapore, and the population of Dubai, if you put the population of these big successful countries together, we are talking of population of over 19.7 million. And we are talking about 20 million out of school children. So we are more than population of these four successful, thriving, respectable, developed countries put together out of school. So imagine what it will be if we invest in education. So investment in education is critical at this point in time. He added, we will invest in public schools. For us to invest in public schools, Nigeria is a country that says they have universal basic education, according to Peter Gringori Obi. As you move to the next stage, know that we want you to be in a different Nigeria. We want you to be part of Nigeria, where people who are dropouts will come back to be part of the new Nigeria. Know that the only certificate, the only thing you need is good education. To remain a good person, remain disciplined person, remain truthful, and always do the right thing. It is easy to say that only bad people succeed in Nigeria, but please do not be part of them. That is what we are trying to change, he added, according to Peter Obi. Fuel subsidy removal. Governor Hope Uzodinjo increases salary of Imo civil servants simply because this year is election year for him. The Imo State Governor Hope Uzodinjo has announced an increase in the salary of civil servants in the state as a way to cushion the effect of fuel subsidy removal by the federal government. The governor, during a stakeholders meeting held at the Rockview Hotel, Owerri, on Saturday, announced a 10,000 naira salary increase for civil servants in the state. With the announcement, the new minimum wage in Imo State civil servants would be 40,000 naira. He added that the government will soon establish the Imo State Marketing and Commodity Board, which will ensure food items are sold at normal prices due to the report that some traders are taking advantage of the economic situation to increase the prices of food items in the market. Civil servants deserve to be pampered as they are the engine room of any administration that wants to succeed. My administration will continue to partner hand in hand with civil servants in the development of the state. The free coastal bus transit that conveys workers from home to office back to their homes as part of my desire is bringing back the glory days of workforce in Imo State. I have discovered with pain how some traders are taking advantage of the economic situation to increase the prices of food items in the market. Against this backdrop, the government will soon establish Imo State Marketing and Commodity Board, which will ensure food items are sold at normal prices. We shall achieve this by setting up low-cost markets in the state, where prices of food items and commodities will be affordable for the masses. The markets will be situated in all the 27 local governments of the state. My government is also planning to build a low-cost housing estate for the low-income salary earners in the state. This will be sited at Mbudi in the Olu zone, Nekede in the Owerri zone, and Anara in the Okigwe zone. In the same vein, we are introducing a scholarship education board for our brilliant students whose parents are poor to train them in school. I found out that most of our brilliant children come from poor homes and end up not furthering their education after leaving primary and secondary school. These brilliant students will be given scholarships to higher institutions instead. All these things simply because this year is election year for him. All these promises, which one have you fulfilled since you embarked on this being the governor for the past 3.5 years? Which one have you achieved? Other than killing the indigenes of Imo State through using a Bubago militia and other bandits. Now you are turned now to become a better person simply because you want them to vote for you for the next 4 years, that will kill the remaining people in Imo State and make some mothers have remained childless, and some sons and daughters have remained orphans simply because you killed their parents. Now you want them to vote you in again so that you will continue from where we stopped. So you will continue the Islamic agenda which they have brought to Imo State through you, making you a governor, somebody who came forth, the Supreme Court government of Imo State. Anyway, I have nothing more to say. President Tinubu advocates for democracy and rule of law in Africa. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu spoke on Saturday in Nairobi, Kenya, urging African leaders to uphold democracy, adhere to the rule of law, and maintain political stability. He specifically warned against military coups in West African region and across the African continent, pointing out that such events hinder development. In his address at a high-level event arranged by the United Nations Development Program, during the 5th Mid-Year African Union coordinating meeting, President Tinubu insisted on the importance of democratic renewal. He said that the coups d'etat should be avoided, especially in the face of contemporary challenges like the COVID-19 pandemic, insecurity, and climate change. Represented by Ambassador Adamu Ibrahim Lamuwa, the permanent secretary in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, President Tinubu expressed regret that West Africa, despite its numerous frameworks and mechanisms for promoting democracy and good governance, is leading in the use of unconstitutional methods to change governments. He cautioned that his disturbing trend of military involvement in politics poses threats to peace, security, and stability, and causes poverty, displacement, and humanitarian crisis. As per a statement released by the Special Advisor to the President on Special Duties, Communication and Strategy, Dele Alake, President Tinubu said, "We therefore must take a deliberate step to address the root causes of unconstitutional challenges and coups d'etat in Africa." He stressed that the continent could not progress towards the goals of the United Nations Agenda 2030 for Sustainable Development or the African Union Agenda 2063. With these disruptions, President Tinubu reiterated that democracy, while it may have management challenges, is the most suitable form of government for 21st century in Africa. He noted that democracy guarantees good governance, inclusivity, transparency, and accountability. The President urged the United Nations to adopt a strict position against military coups and reinforce the interconnection between democracy and development for achieving sustainable goals and long-term peace, security, and economic growth. As a chairperson of the ECOWAS, Authority of Heads of State and Governments, President Tinubu assured his readiness to work with the UNDP and other partners to promote democracy in Africa. He expressed his gratitude to the UNDP for the invitation to speak and reassured them of his commitment to tackling the security of military coups and promoting democratic renewal all in Africa. Emergency on food security declared by President Tinubu has exposed Buhari's deception, according to Shehu Sani. This is our outspoken former senator. Former Kaduna Central lawmaker, Senator Shehu Sani, has declared that the emergency on food security declared by President Tinubu has exposed the deception of former President Muhammadu Buhari. Taking to his Twitter account on Saturday, Sani said the rice pyramids displayed by former President Buhari during his tenure have been confirmed as deception, while the losing of the land borders has now clearly proven to be an exercise in futility. The former lawmaker added that food security can be achieved in any country where farmers are slaughtered by terrorists and farming communities pay levies to bandits in order to survive. He wrote, "You cannot have food security in a country where farmers are slaughtered by terrorists and farming communities are forced to pay levies to bandits." The declaration of emergency on food security exposed the deception about those rice pyramids and the futility of closing land borders. His submission comes hours after President Bola Ahmed Tinubu announced a state of emergency on food security within Nigeria. This information was conveyed by the presidential spokesperson Dele Alake during a press briefing at the State House on Thursday. The president has called for all matters related to the availability and affordability of food and water, which are critical for daily living, to be handled by the National Security Council. This directive aligns with the Tinubu administration commitment to support the most vulnerable citizens. Alaka noted that the president recognizes the impact of the rising cost of food on the financial well-being of the whole Nigerians. Nigerian Reverend Father begins Cook Anton, gives reasons. Everybody now want to break, record, Guinness World Record. Okay, let us see his reason for embarking on this journey. Reverend Father Solomon Mfa is currently hosting a Cook Anton at Benue State IDP camp to feed internally displaced persons. Wow. Very nice reasons. Very, very nice one. The event was organized to help alleviate the hunger of people who have been displaced from their homes due to insecurity. Giving reasons for the development, Shakum Joseph, a close associate of the clergyman, said the plan was born out of a need to show the government the immense suffering displaced people in the state were enduring. He said, making sure everyone in our country sees this great humanitarian service by the Reverend Father, and also for the federal government to see how a lot of Benue citizens have been displaced through herdsmen attack, so as to make efforts to return these people back to their ancestral homes. These people are passing through a lot in this place. They hardly get food to eat, and some died of hunger. They are extremely happy. Father Solomon Mfa is a Catholic priest. He organized this Cook Anton for IDPs in Benue in order to feed people in IDP camps. It is happening now in Daudu, Benue State. You can as well see the videos, the pictures, everything is out there for you to do what? For you to see. Because it is very, very necessary and very, very important. You have done well, Reverend Father. President Tinubu arrives Nairobi for African Union Summit. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu on Saturday arrived in Nairobi, Kenya to participate in the 5th mid-year coordination meeting of the African Union, the regional economic communities, the regional mechanisms, and the African Union member states. President Tinubu is attending the meeting both as Nigerian leader as well as the new chairman of ECOWAS, one of the 8 regional economic communities. He is expected to present a report on the status of regional integration in ECOWAS, highlighting actions carried out during the period under review by ECOWAS constitution member states, the private sector, and other stakeholders to deepen integration through trade, free movement of persons, investment promotions, infrastructural development, peace, security, and stability. The meeting with the team Acceleration of African Continental Free Trade Area implementation brings together the Bureau of African Union Assembly comprising the heads of state and government from Comoros, Botswana, Burundi, and Senegal, as well as the leaders of the 8 regional economic communities. Stop taxing Nigerians, recover money stolen under Buhari to fund your government, Sheikh Gumi tells Ahmed Tinubu. Renowned Kaduna-based Islamic scholar Sheikh Ahmed Gumi has asked President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to go after those who stole public funds under the administration of the immediate past president, Muhammadu Buhari, to recover the money and use it to run his government. The controversial cleric said during a recent interview that Nigeria is a broke at the moment and Tinubu should stop taxing the citizens to fund his administration. According to the controversial Gumi, Buhari failed in his 8 years against fighting corruption because he refused to take seriously alternatives that were proposed to him. Instead, he continued using the institution of fighting corruption to hunt and blackmail opponents. So his corruption war failed, the Islamic cleric laments. So Tinubu should have the courage not only to deal with anyone found to be corrupt, but also bring back all those who have enriched themselves in the past government to vomit what they have stolen. They have to vomit what they have eaten. Nigeria is broke now, and instead of taxing common Nigerians to raise funds to run the government, let the stolen money be returned and make out appropriate punishment on them. If he can do this, I will support him 100%, Sheikh Gumi said. Nigerians understand that Gumi said this while speaking on his relationship with bandits and other happenings in Nigeria. Talking about bandits no longer a secret. When asked to speak on the speculations that peace talks have started again with the bandits terrorizing the northern part of the country, Sheikh Gumi said, I heard that there were some contacts made with the bandits, but I am not part of it. The cleric who retreated his preference for negotiations with the bandits instead of military action said, you cannot rule out the role of military. In fact, even if you are negotiating, you will not be doing that from the standpoint of weakness. So the military has a great role to play, but the military alone cannot do it because this is a social political issue and the military does not solve political problems. We have to go to the round table. Also, nobody can tell the bandits do not want to sit at the table. I sat with them, I called them, they also came to me. They told me their grievances. The moment fire is exchanged, while the other side is ready to sit for talks, I will complicate the whole issue. I don't think that is logical. They will continue to blame each other. You can sit and discuss the way out and broker peace, which is